You just give me the... Check, 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 check. Yeah. Nice, huh? Funky. No. Nope. wait. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
All right, all right. Good morning.
You gotta do that every week now.
All right, that's it. I'll conduct. I can do that. I can handle that. Good morning, CSL Simi Valley. So happy to have you here. We got the gremlins all fixed. We're ready to go online. It's a beautiful day. It's a new month. February. Hey, I hear it's something called Black History Month. Yeah. And the story of the African influence in America is so dynamic. It's one of the things that allowed us to be the powerhouse nation that we are today. You think deep about that. The people that were enslaved, not slaves. No one wakes up in the morning and goes, you know what I aspire to do is to be a slave. No. People that were enslaved built this nation, built the White House, built the economy. It's a powerful thing. So it's something we get to talk about. It's a story that we get to tell. But the thing is, we all have stories. This month, the theme is, it's storytelling time. We all have stories, and there's a value, there's an importance to the stories that we tell. An African-American writer for The New Yorker, an author, his name is John Edgar Wideman, and he speaks about the power of stories when he says that the process that is going to knit up the culture of the collective family is that we tell our stories. We tell them in our own way, and they express our values. And we keep telling them. We keep telling them despite the madness, despite the chaos, despite the pressure not to tell them. This is the month when we tell the stories. We tell the stories of the African-American diaspora, but we also tell the stories of our lives, our own story. And we're going to start that this morning with my story. So we'll do that a little bit later as we get into the talk. Great music today. We've got Patricia Bahia here with us, amazing songwriter, award-winning songwriter. And I'm just so happy to have you with us. Soul Purpose Band is in the house. We have half a L. We got Lane here with us, and we're going to get Lynn back here soon enough. Dominic's back there on the slides, and Gregory's doing the video work, and Dee is going to come up and do the practitioner prayer for us in just a moment. And that's all that happens to bring our vision and mission statement out into the world, and then you take it and make it alive by your very behavior. Let's do that vision and mission statement right here and right now. And this is what it says. It says, we're community, inclusive, loving, and authentic. We celebrate all paths to God.
Empowering self and others throughout.
We serve, wait a minute.
Compassionately.
Read it, Don.
Read it, Dom, yeah. Through outreach, inspiration, and education. That's it. That's it.
Compassionately through outreach, inspiration, and education.
Thank you, sir. That's who we are. That's why we're here. And Dee, do a prayer for us, because that's what we do.
Life in the big city can be quite interesting at times, but then that's why we do prayer. As soon as we find ourselves in that moment of, oh my God, oh yeah, oh my God. So let's pray. Remembering, or as Reverend Stephen introduced me to this word, remembering the truth of this moment, we know that there is only one all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present essence that moves through each and every one of us here and beyond here. People we see and we don't see, and everything else. Knowing this truth, living from this truth, we move forward into this day, appreciating what the village has brought to us as it unfolds with grace and ease, knowing that we have everything we need to support us through this experience with each other. So we take in what is ours to take in. We appreciate all who present to us, and we know absolutely that love prevails. So now I release this word, surrendering to the law of God, knowing that all is well, all is good, and together we say, and so it is. And normally it would say, please stand and sing. And please, everyone, even you at home, stand and sing.
How can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I serve today? How can I serve today? Who needs my love today? Who needs my love today? Sweet spirit.
Okay, I was just informed that everyone outside of this room actually is getting what the slides are saying.
Yes.
It's just us in here who don't get, we get to guess, okay? So the next guess is that I'm supposed to do the affirmation. So I'm going to read it, and then I'll help you guys repeat it back to me, okay? And you at home, please join in. Because the story of my life flows forth from the self-givingness of spirit, I know it is a good life. So repeat it with me. Because the story of my life flows forth from the self-givingness of spirit, I know it is a good life. Thank you. I found my reading today in Science of Mind Daily Guides of August 2020, specifically August 6th. And these were written by, or this one was written by Tracy Brown a practitioner in our Centers for Spiritual Living. And it's called The Whole Me. Each one of us is a complex human being. Learning to love and honor ourselves provides a strong foundation that allows us to see the complexity in other people. To give love to others, we must learn to love ourselves fully. The whole me. No sharp edges, just curving lines in constant motion, weaving in and out of the traffic of life. That's me in 5 colors. Some earth, some bright, some separation, some overlap, confusing if you focus on one part too long, inspiring if you step back and notice the flow. No sharp edges, only bends in the road. No wrong answers, just adventures to unfold. Separate paths connecting and converging as one. When I let the whole me be. So join me and be you while I'm being me, and let's share. Let's find out about each other. Thank you.
All right, Patricia, come on up. Woo.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, the last 2 years have been quite a time. So different than what many of us expected or planned for. And that's what this song is about. It's about finding the gifts, even in the darkest moments. Basically, loving our story, regardless of what each chapter can bring. Do we got a guitar coming through? Okay, cool. I was rubble on the ground, skyscraper torn down, once so tall and strong. Then my everything was gone, struggling to breathe. It was hard to believe I could ever turn the page, that I would ever find my way. Even though I was lost and nothing felt right, wouldn't change one line in the book of my life. Though day after day was a never-ending night, wouldn't change one line in the book of my life. In the middle of disaster, when it felt like ever after, I just couldn't understand how there could be a greater plan. But when the earth was all done shaking, I suddenly awakened, got up off the floor, so much stronger than before. I won't curse the darkness, it taught me how to fight. Wouldn't change one line in the book of my life. Every moment from the lows up to the high, wouldn't change one line in the book of my life. future is wide open. My story's end is yet unspoken. And though the past has left its marks, I will never hide my scars. They remind me where I've been. I'd live through every page again, 'cause it's the dark nights I've been through that help me see this truth. Without the darkness, I couldn't see the light. Wouldn't change one line in the book of my life. I found a strength inside, holding to it tight. Wouldn't change one line in the book of my life. Wouldn't change one line in the book of my life.
Okay, it's now time for our gap meditation. It's now time to go within, and as Marianne Williamson reminded me this morning, today I rest within the softness of my heart. To me, that's an aspect of meditation. To rest, to listen, to be, to hear. So, it's 3 minutes. I'm going to ring the gong 3 times, giving you enough time to breathe in between each gong. And Sherry will bring us out with some lovely music, and I will complete. All right.
I am in the light. See me if you can. Everywhere I am.
So as you come back to the awareness of the room, notice the silence underlying everything. That to me too is a part of meditation. It's a restful, peaceful calm. So bring it home with you if you don't already. Learn one step at a time. 1 minute, 5 minutes, more. Bring that joy to your experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Dee. Now Patricia's back with another beautiful song of hers.
Let's make sure I'm still in tune. So this next song is called Grateful, and there's a little bit of a call and response part, as I am wont to do, in the chorus. I'll say, I am grateful, you just repeat it. I am thankful, repeat it. I am grateful. So you will definitely catch it. Every ray of sun that falls upon my skin, for every midnight sky I find my solace in. I am grateful even for the storm that rages through the night and drenches me in rain as I'm reaching for the light. I am grateful. I'm alive and breathing. I am thankful. I have love within me. I am grateful. For gifts disguised as heartaches. I am thankful. Oh, I am grateful. So grateful. Sometimes the days are bright and the blessings overflow. Even on the days when it seems like all the doors are closed, I am grateful. I don't need to have the answers. It's faith I hold on to, and I listen to the voice inside and know I'll make it through. I'm grateful.
So grateful for
you.
you and your songs. I am grateful. I love that. That so works for today's talk because, you know, the title is Loving My Story. And there was that one line, I'm grateful for the heartaches and that have become blessings. How did that? Yeah? Yeah. Was that the line? I am grateful for the heartaches and the blessings.
The gifts disguised as heartache.
The gifts disguised as heartaches. That's it. That's such a powerful way. And, you know, sometimes with our stories, we forget to do that. We forget to be grateful for every aspect of the story. Thus, the title today, Loving My Story. As I said, the whole month is going to be about storytelling and the power that stories bring into our lives. It dawns on me that there may be some moments where it looks like I'm kind of disconnected for a moment, because I'm just going to full disclosure, this monitor back here usually has the slides on it. Now, grateful that we are today streaming, because the slides that Dominic has got go directly to you, so you'll see the slides, but we may not see the slides here. So there may be this moment where you're like, wait a minute, that didn't jive. That explains it. Maybe you don't notice, and hopefully you won't. Here in the sanctuary, I will say them very slowly so you can follow along with what the slides are, the few people that are here. And speaking of that, as I set the clock, tangent real quick, speaking of that, at the beginning of the service, because we were in the middle of all that, I forgot to announce something really important. We're coming back live in person in the sanctuary on February 20th, Sunday, February 20th, all right? Now, we'll still be doing all the protocols. We're going to continue to wear our masks, keep them up over your nose. We're going to continue to ask people. You don't just run up, oh, it's so good to see you. No. You're going to stop. You go, are you doing hugs? Okay, you are? Okay. You sure? Yeah? Okay. Like the double check and then check again before you just run up and hug somebody, because I know it's going to be really exciting to come back February 20th, Sunday. All right? So let you know that. 2 weeks. Back to stories for a minute. Loving my story. Storytelling time. It's important. Stories are essential to our understanding of life. They are a natural process of what we go through, and they are necessary for us. All of us remember being told those stories as a kid. And you know, come on, Mom, come on, Granddad, tell us a story, tell us a story. Stories are how we make sense of our lives, how we make sense of the world. I've talked about this Star Trek episode that I love so much. There's a group of people, a planet of people in Star Trek, and their whole life is told in stories. So instead of saying, I'll have a medium, they might say, I'll have a Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Because you remember, right, the middle, right? So that's how storytelling works. Stories allow us to condense a big concept into a little idea. They are just as necessary to us as food is to the body, as meaning is to the soul. Stories bring a sense of understanding to the spirit. They bring an understanding of the ultimate place that we hold in the cosmos. And the cosmos is our story as it relates to the universe. Now, there are a lot of different levels of story we'll be talking about this month. We'll be talking about the story, which is the big cosmic story that Dr. Holmes talks about, the thing itself, life as the thing itself. There's that big story. And then there's an area, this all comes from something from Joseph Chilton Pierce, who wrote a book years ago called The Cosmic Egg. And in this, he had 3 domes of existence: my story, our story, and the story. And then my favorite Franciscan brother and father, Richard Rohr, came up with another one, which is our others' stories. So we'll be talking about the story, others' stories, our story, but today it's my story, and how important it is to love your story. The smallest part of that cosmic egg is our description of our individual and private world. The part of the world where you go, this is me, these are my possessions, these are my opinions, my belief, my power, my prestige, my, oh my. Dr. Holmes says that each person has a mental atmosphere which is the result of all that he has thought, said, and done, and consciously or unconsciously perceived. That's in the Science Mind textbook. You see, your story is the storehouse of all that your eyes have seen, all that your ears have heard, all that your mind has conceived. And we must consciously recognize that, spend some time diving into it, which is why we do meditation, why we talk to practitioners, so we can uncover the beliefs that are in that unconscious level of our story, because we must know that. So you must understand that. That's how we feel grounded. That's how we know where we are. It's as important as all the things in your, just think of all the stuff in your driver's license, in your wallet that tells you who you are, your driver's license, your credit card, your ID and all that. That's a part of your story. What is your story is what we're talking about here. And once you know that, then it's important to tell it. You tell it in how you live and how you work and how you move through life itself, but also that story is something that we get to share. And it's important that we share our story. It's important that we share how we find and hold our places in this thing called life. See, the story is what anchors you. It's what anchors me. And it's a relatively new idea, the power and the importance of my story. In a postmodern, modern world, that's a relatively new thing. You see, formerly, there was no my story was my family, or my story was my clan or my tribe, or my story was my job, my profession, your trade. You were David, son of the carpenter. You were a tailor. That was your story, or your kingdom. Where did you come from? Who did you belong to? But now in this new modern age, we've stepped into this space of individuation. So our story, my story, is important. There are pros to that, but there's also some cons to that, because in living for me, my, and myself, me, myself, and I, living in that space, we sometimes diminish the importance of those other three stories I talked about. Diminish the importance of the our story and the other story and the story, because we're so concerned with my story. Richard Rohr talks about this, as I said, in a lot of his writings. And one of the things he says is that the function of all mythologies and religion and even family lore is to help us situate ourselves inside of a safe and meaningful universe. Inside of a safe and meaningful universe. See, this idea of safety is what's held in some of the older stories. And the stories that we tell, the stories that we live, who we are as individuals, those stories are in our bones. They're deep within our entire spirit. There's something that calls us to that. Years and years ago, 1966 it was, my Aunt Ruth took my brother and I to the World's Fair. We rode the train from Detroit all the way to New York. It was so exciting. We were just having a great time. And I was in charge of watching out for Michael. I had to keep my eye on little brother. That was my routine. That was what I was supposed to do. That's all I had to do. Enjoy myself and keep my eye on Michael. So we're there in the African World exhibit. We're watching these Maasai dancers. They're doing their thing, and the crowd is all around, and at that moment, Andrew says, "Where's Michael?" And I went, I don't know. Well, you're supposed to be watching him. I don't know where he went, And we're looking everywhere, and suddenly we're taking our eyes off the dancers, and suddenly we hear this laughter coming up from the crowd. And we look up, and here are the Watusi dancers. They're just doing their thing, and there's Michael right there at the back of the line. He's just doing his thing, right there, dancing in the middle. It was in his bones. It was in his bones. He heard the music, he heard the beat, he saw the dance, and he recognized that was part of his story. It was a part of his story. For years after that, you'd say to Michael, "Where are you from, Michael?" He said, "Africa City." That was his home. Africa City? Where are you from? Africa City. It's part of his story. But as I say, these larger, deeper things are part of our story. There's also something in our bones. And that is the you that is you. As Dr. Seuss would say, there's no one youer than you. the you that is you, that Spirit has put into you, is individualized within you, that is spontaneous and self-choosing, that is becoming and emerging into something greater each and every day. It's the eternally expanding you. It's been put in you by the divine self-givingness. That is also a part of your story, and that's the part of the story that we must love. Even in the sad moments, in the disaster and the heartache, we must love those stories because, you see, our soul belongs to the universe. We are the universe made conscious of itself. Our soul is a part of stardust itself. And so our individual stories are also a universal story. We are the outlet of the creative intelligence that is seeking fulfillment by means of us, by means of how we write our individual stories. It's so important because Spirit as you is within you. And while you and I are each different, we are never isolated, for we are rooted in the one. We are rooted in this divine knowingness. See, so this story, my story, that universal story that's a part of everything, but also individualized as me, is the point where I and my have a reference in the now, in this particular moment. It's the reference point for all of my feelings and opinions and beliefs. This must be the Michael Auntie Ruth week, because the other thing I was thinking about was Auntie Ruth took us to Africa, took us to Senegal. So exciting. We get there, and as soon as we land, get to this busy airport in Dakar, and next thing you know, our luggage is gone. It has been thrown into the back of a taxi cab, and the taxi cab driver is trying to tell us it's going to cost us $120 to go to downtown Dakar, which we can see just blocks away. Are you kidding us? And we're trying to get it out. And in Senegal, when somebody starts arguing, then other people gather around, and they start to argue about who's right or wrong in the argument, and then other people gather around about whether that person should even be bothered with arguing about that person. So next thing you know, there's this huge crowd of people around us arguing about stuff, and we're just trying to get finally we just grab this guy, Mamadou, which is like every other guy. It's like John. So this guy, Mamadou, he comes over and he grabs our luggage, he pulls it out of the taxi cab, and he became our savior for the week, the whole time we were there, and showing us how to do things. And that was kind of a scam. They take your luggage, they put it in a cab. And so by the time we get, bottom line is, by the time we get to the airport, to the hotel, I'm completely traumatized. I'm like, this is supposed to be like the motherland, and everything's going to be great and beautiful and loving. No, they've stolen our luggage. It was too much. So I thought, I'm hungry. I don't even want to leave the room. I know what I'll do. They speak French here in Senegal. I'll order myself a chicken sandwich. I can speak French. Je voudrais une poulette sandwich avec la mayonnaise. And the guy on the phone, he goes, je suis Sénégalese, je suis français, Olaf, you, American, what you want? Chicken sandwich? My story smashed into me at that moment. It was a beautiful trip. And we stayed for two and a half weeks. It was a lovely experience. Went to Gorée Island and everything. It was powerful. But also it let me understand, as we talk about segueing back to Black History Month, that I am a unique product of America. I am an American. When I came back and I saw that flag, I knew I was home. There was a bondedness. My story included Africa, but it also includes America. It includes chicken sandwich with mayo, not une poulette de sandwich avec mayonnaise. My story tells me where is my place, where is my prestige, where are my possessions. That's your story, your individual story. Maybe not mine, but it's yours. Understand it, love it. See, the story is, as Richard Rohr says, he says, it's the little stage where I do my dance, where the questions are usually, who is watching me? How do I feel? What do I believe? What makes me unique? Pull those questions apart and ask them for yourself. How do you feel about your story? What do you believe about you, your life, where you are? What is it that makes you unique? And who's watching you? And most importantly, are you watching you? Hold tightly to your story, but hold it lightly and gingerly as well. Because remember, there are pros and there are cons. And one of the great things about my story is it is the launching pad. It's the launching pad into our greater yet to be. So understanding our story is also preparatory. It prepares us. See, we have this personal thing, but we have this personal thing in relationship with spirit. Spirit is incomplete without an outlet, and we are that divine outlet. I was reading one of Dr. Holmes's wonderful books. It's actually a book by Reginald Armour, and we talked about it on Wednesday night on the Wednesday spa. And in that book, he tells the story of a little kid who's drawing a picture of God. And his father looks over and says, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm drawing a picture of God." "Well, nobody knows what God looks like." "Well, they will when I finish my picture." We are here to draw a picture of God. We are here to complete the divine presence through our beingness. It is seeking from us a form, a way, a means of full expression. That's part of our story. We are co-writers of our story with the divine presence that is within us and is as us and is of us, and that we are of it at the same time. And the value of understanding our story is that as we continue to grow, we may come up against things that want to draw outside the lines that we've drawn in our story. They want to expand us. Remember, we are expanding. We are eternally expanding and becoming more. So as Mark Nepo says, so often we make a commitment to change our ways, but we stall in the face of old reflexes as new situations arise. So often we make a commitment to change our ways, but stall in the face of old reflexes as new situations arise. This is why it's so important to know our story, to be set up for our picture that we're drawing of God. How we draw God sometimes means that we may have to make a commitment to not reflexively act the way we've always acted, and to stretch, to grow, to write a new chapter in that story. But it all starts with loving it, every aspect of it, even those moments that feel a little bit dark, sad, challenging. See, the appreciation of this story is so powerful. As I said, you are a co-author with that presence that stretched the sky. I love that idea. The presence that stretched the sky and hung stars in the darkness and spun planets in the cosmos. That same power is within each and every one of us. That same power is around for us. And it also knows and it also cares about the very rhythm of your heartbeat. It will not leave you astray, lead you astray, or leave you alone. We simply must call on it at any time. See, we have our story, but it's also always part of the story. And in the metaphor of the great teacher who talks about the branch and the vine, we're not a branch separated from the vine. We're connected to the vine. So we must share our harvest. In other words, we must share our story. In this thing called you, Dr. Holmes writes, your fantastic will, seeking good for yourself that you would not willingly give to others, may lead you up many blind alleys. You may meet with disappointment and chagrin, but I've also placed within you a compass and a chart. I love that. your fantastic will, seeking good for yourself that you would not willingly give to others. You might want it, but you want to share with somebody else. That may lead you up some blind alleys, and you may meet some disappointment up those blind alleys and some chagrin, because see, you are supposed to share your good with others. And if you can't figure it out, if you've run into those blind alleys, if you're feeling that sense of chagrin, guess what? There's a compass in you and a chart that knows, go within, and the Father who sees you and hears you in the closet will reward you openly. The closet is the confines of your mind. Go into that space, rewrite your story, and then be willing to share. See, my story is not just to know, but it is to tell, and it is to share. So it's my hope that, like I do, you too will be loving my story. And so it is. So we're going to do our affirmation now, which is, because the story of my life flows from the self-givingness of spirit, I know it is a good life. You want to do it here too? Try, here we go. Because the story of my life flows forth from the self-givingness of spirit, I know it is a good life.
I know it is a good life.
Mm-hmm. And one of the ways we anchor that good life is through prayer, through our revealing prayer. We call it the revealing prayer here at CSL Simi Valley because we know that the healing is nothing more than a revealing of the perfection within each and every one of us. And so at this moment, I ask you at home, and those of you that are right here, the few that are right here, if you have something in your life that has led you up a blind alley, if you're looking for a way to move past the old reflexes and allow the new situations to arise, this is the time to affirm the power and the presence within you that allows you to do that. To know that that compass within you is steering you toward right action and divine guidance right here and now. So this is what I know. That there is this spiritual presence of which I am a part. And I know that each and every person here and online and within the confines of my mind and yours is also a part of this divine presence. We have within us a thing, somethingness, so vast and infinite it is beyond description or recognition in words or pictures or any form. But there is a feeling tone within us all that knows what it knows. And in this knowing, we can turn toward that direction that says, this is what is called to do. This is how I'm led to move. This is the unfoldment of my good as I follow this path. So we ask the question with full expectancy of receiving the answer. We put forth the idea with complete understanding that it is given. We accept the good knowing that it is already ours. Yes, that's mine. Thank you. I'll take more. And we say thank you for that. So in this moment of recognition that whatever feels like disharmony or chagrin or sadness or upset is an experience in time that moves forward as we recognize that there is a power and a presence that is here to give us our good. It is my good pleasure to give you the kingdom, and we say yes with deep gratitude. And it's in this moment of deep gratitude, knowing that the law gives as it receives the impress of our thoughts. I release those impressed thoughts into the law of mind that knows exactly how to make them ours in time and space. And so it is. Mm-hmm. Well, this is where we turn to that support, divine giving. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to, well, you see the different ways. There should be on the screen for you at home, the different ways to give. We've got the online, we've got the breeze, we've got the phone call. Some of you are on auto tithing, so we really love the auto tithe process. And speaking of that, we are looking to move ourselves this year into a space where our prosperity and abundance is automatic. And that happens by us getting our auto tithe program up to the percentages that pay for our basic operating expenses. So anything that we take over after that is our flourishing space. It's our giving space. It's where we allow ourselves to do great things in the community, like we get to do with the B. Thompson Award, which this year is going to be in excess of $10,000 that we'll be giving to community nonprofits in our area. Go to the website and fill out a form, because the deadline for that is February 20th, and we'll be announcing who's going to win those sometime in March. So it's a great thing that we get to do. And one of the ways we get to assure that we can be a center that gives as much as it receives is by getting our auto-tithe program up to into the 90% range for giving the amount of money each month that we need to operate ourselves with. And I think we're up in 60-70% around there, so we'll have a few percentage points to go. That's not that big of a deal. We can do this. And one of the ways we do this is to affirm our good, and we do it with this following statement, which says, divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for CSL Simi Valley. Now, divine love is victorious. And here are your announcements for the upcoming week.
So we come together right now with gratitude for the prosperity of this center, for the prosperity for everyone who attends this center, and the prosperity of beyond there. And we're grateful and thankful for everything you're willing to give, everything in time, talent, and treasure. So with great gratitude for this, and remembering there is only one life, and that life is God, and that life is your life, my life, our life now, we say, thank you, God, more please, and so it is.
And so it is. Come back up, Patricia. This is a fun song.
All right, so this one's called It's All Good. And it goes with loving your story, you know, loving yourself. It's a song about being yourself. If you're crazy, it's cool, right? If you insist on seeing the world through rose-colored glasses, it's all good. Yeah, so here we go.
Sitting here in traffic, got the radio on. I'm drumming on the dashboard and I'm singing along. People give me looks 'cause they don't understand. That's just the way I am. I like to talk to strangers every chance I get, 'cause a stranger's just a friend I haven't met yet. I'm 20 minutes late everywhere I go. I stop to smell the flowers and go with the flow. It's
'cause I like myself the way I am, not trying to be nobody else. They say it's extraordinary, even revolutionary, to be the way I am. 'Cause I'm always looking out through rose-colored lenses. They say it's high time I come to my senses, but I'm not trying to fit in no one else's shoes. I'm happy being me, the way that I choose. It's all good. No, I don't need to change. It's all good. I see the silver lining. All good. It's all good. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not saying that I'm happy all the time. I got my highs, I got my lows. But I'd rather see the glass half full, 'cause it makes for a lighter note. It's all good, yeah. It's all good, yeah. Good. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, yeah, yeah. Good. Oh, yeah, yeah. Good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yes, it is. All good. I like that. I don't mind being late to things if I'm getting to smell roses. That sounds wonderful. This time of year, it's the fruit. The oranges are getting ready. The mandarins are just about done. Yes, indeed. So pleased. I'm happy about our little kitty cat because it
Speaking
runs.
of fruit, Randy brought in a bunch of lemons and oranges.
Oh, really?
If anybody wants
We
some.
got some citrus in the house. I love it. That sounds great. So great. Hey, thank you so much for everyone who's participated in the service this morning. Dominic, yes, you have some announcement?
No, just saying moment of gratitude.
Thank you so much. They're going for that. And I'm grateful for you, my friend.
Thank you.
Grateful for Dominic Beltran running the slides and our floor director this morning, and Ron Young helping us out as our stage manager, and Gregory with the video feed. Wonderful. And I see you had a disciple, a student up there a little bit earlier. Our Gary Paul was here. That's great. Good to see him. Is he still in the house? Did he leave? Okay, he's not here. Dee, great with the practitioner prayer and your story. I love that story. That was so sweet. And always the Soul Purpose Band. You guys are awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Randy, Steve, John, Lane, and Patricia. Wonderful. Dr. Susan is in the back. She's got a little one back there today. What's her name again? Nicole? Pearl. Oh, that's right. Pearl, the sweet pearl of our eye. She's a dynamite. So we have one cosmic kid, but she's young, and she's going to stay back there in the back and continue to play. And we're grateful for that. And we'll see all of you back here on February 20th. So one more streaming week. Next week we'll be streaming one more time. So please stay home until next week. Until the 20th. We got some things we want to do here, and we will be so happy to be all back together again. It's time for our closing benediction, and then we will sing. And the song we're changing our song too, but not today. We're going to change on a new song on the 20th, so as well, debuting a new closing song. We'll still do our release today. All right, here we go. I'm at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love. Boom.
I release, I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I release.
See ya.